Z for eminingwizard.com and marketwizard.com, reminding traders to use risk capital that you can afford to lose. All right, I call this the tunnel through time. And as I was saying, this, after all these years in the business, it's still hard to put into your mind that you can go from one extreme to another. And I try to curve fit these to help show me what the present volatility is. And once we go outside the bands and then we stabilize and then we start to get up on top of this blue line, the slope line, the trade has really reversed, and you can see that. And the hard part is understanding that this extreme creates the opposite and equal reaction where you get to this extreme. And when we get too much on the upside, then you're going to be looking for the opposite side. And you can see it. It's not like it happens in one day. 1, 2, 3, this is the holidays, 4, 5, 6, about a week apart. Keep an eye on this idea. And for us to come backwards and come the other way, it's going to take some time. And again, the best case right now for some chop is, I think, this chart right here, the monthly chart. We are busting back up to the top of the pipe. We know that the middle from last month is back here in the 70s. We know that the bottom of the pipe back here, that 32 area, 31 area, so that's in play today too. We always want to look back a bar. And by bar, I'm talking about, so this would be a monthly bar. It is a monthly bar. So we want to see the previous one and say, where are we relative to that profile? We can see how we held the lows from the previous month, and we're bouncing, and we still have overhead resistance in this 70 area, 70 to 75. So I think right now it makes perfect sense that 25 is going to become a significant battle zone. Longs have to defend that 25 zone. Keep pressure on the upside. Shorts obviously need to stall from yesterday's high. And obviously from just above last week's high. Goal of the boys really should be to try to knock out stops first. If they can't, they can't, but that's normally the way they try to run these patterns. So pending home sales, conservative traders, be aware of news events, 10 o'clock. Thank you, Zeke, for your post. And depending on the significance of the report, sometimes you want to be sidelined, other times you don't think it'll affect them. The trade that much, you'll stay in a position. Right now, very, very choppy as expected. And half gap area has been attained. We said, let's use that to make sure you're paid by the 38 to 39. So far, anybody that's nibbling short side probably done as well as the long side, but I wouldn't overdo it. We still have a lot of trap traders, and morning after trend day says give the IB to the longs to try to get the half gap and gap. And the second variation of that is a little more time, and it takes a very choppy morning, and then it starts to catch hold a little bit later in the day, afternoon after trend day. Two-way day. Risk two, make two. Anybody short side, my suggestion paid by 32s to 31s. My guess is that this might be a support zone to take some profits because the range is so narrow. And still thinking range type trading. So what I'm trying to suggest right now is that's the inside range. And you can see it, just a couple of touches up here, no more. A couple of touches here. You need follow through, and I don't think the market's quite ready to do that yet. I think we're just going to get some sideways chop. Thinking small. I'm not trying to talk you out of a 50-point trade south side or long. I'm just trying to say let's be reasonable here and give the market time to sort out and consolidate yesterday's gains. And now look at our swing chart, range that 18 to 20 resistance. We said 28.12s. If we got below that, would not be good for the longs. That's played out terrifically. The 26.03 support, the bottom box has held. We noted that at the time. Okay, let's think of this 30 as support. Dribbled a little below. We said 25 stop for longs. Let's think of that. Got to the next box at 56.25, 55 area. Remember, 52.5. And then this support box got over. It was a resistance box, got supported here. Those 82s yesterday busted right through the middle at 10.5. And then obviously we pushed up to try to test this level at the 37, 38 area. And we said, make sure you are paid yesterday by these numbers. And a little bit of a poke above it. And so far, we're range trading, trying to hold the overnight range. But this is probably our rejection box for now. And this is our fighting box. And that's on a much bigger perspective, obviously. Two-way day. Shorts just as valid as longs today because of the extreme push yesterday. I do not think it's an all-day sell, and I do not think it's an all-day buy. And conservative traders who are buying support, we've suggested if the trades don't work, just drop it. Look to buy one more time, perhaps below it, with no expectation that we're going to take out the highs. A range type trade. Very important chart, really. And you can see the empirical evidence that suggests that. And I put it back to the 4-minute chart. First time back to the blue line, got to be paid. If you want the 5, I'll put the 5 on. You can see that, which is our base chart. Four was working yesterday. Said we're going to put it back to a 5 today, but you can certainly still use a faster chart. 3, we're trying to go a little bit over and under, so it tells us we need that deeper chart. And I'm going to keep it on the 5 for now. And you can just see how beautiful this chart worked. I can look at it for a couple of days. These are the days that will try your soul, the very small ranges, choppy, over and under, and then it takes hold and you get a big day like yesterday. And then the problem becomes stretched too far from the rain line. And you don't expect an immediate return to it. You expect it's going to take some time to do that, but eventually we come back to that, usually within a couple of days. Because this will continue to migrate upwards, making it easier to get back to. Do not overtrade. Traders who missed yesterday are very anxious to get long side today. Missed is missed. If you did not like chasing yesterday, then you probably did not play very well. And today, those traders are much more vulnerable. And that's where Zeke said we could get a little shakeout of those traders. We talked about that. You could get a little shakeout first before a bounce.